Humble beginnings. My story, my testimony.
Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome, viewers. This is your favorite program, Humble Beginnings. My story, my testimony. Today, I do believe you're going to be blessed. The word of God says that though my beginnings may be small, my latter end shall I greatly increase. Today, I'm having a very wonderful guest who will be telling us about his testimony, his story, where the Lord has brought him and how far he has come. I do believe you are going to enjoy this program as you listen to us. As you're watching us on Lookup TV, and also you can get us on our Facebook page, on Lookup Facebook page, and I know you're going to be blessed. Welcome very much, Mr. Sam.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I've been longing to have you here.
Asante.
How have you been?
I've been well, doing well, ups and down. You know, we are in the difficult season. And so, yeah, I can say I'm good.
So how was your day today?
My day today started at 5 a.m. Doing my own practice, exercises. Yes, and I've been well. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Good.
We have been longing to have you here, Sam. Who is Sam? Introduce yourself. Tell us who are you? I mean, let us just want to know who are you.
Sam is son of man. You know, if I can describe myself, Sam is a son of Mr. Peter Muturi and Miss Teresa Wangoi. Those are my parents, but they departed earlier in my growing. I think I was like 1 year.
1 year.
Yes, when my father was arrested, went to prison, and my mother went back home. And that's where my life started. And then my mom also departed from home, and she left me with my grandmom. She went to seek the green pastures to Nyeri town, and now I was left with my grandmom till the age of maybe 6, when I now started to know who I am. Some is starting now to go to school, but one thing I didn't know who was my mom, because I was calling my grandmom my mom. I didn't know my mom till later, when now she came to visit, and I met her, and now my uncle started now to show me that this is your mom, this is your grandmom. Now I started to differentiate. And so after some times, my mom got married again with another man. And now my uncles came together. I think at that point I was in standard 4. That back 1987. Yes, they came together and they said, this guy have to go to meet his new dad, so that they can familiarize to each other.
So maybe before we go to that story, Sam, did you have any other brothers and sisters? Were you the only child?
No. Now, I had my siblings later, because now when my mom got married to this and the other man, they got other children. So we are 8 of us, but I am the firstborn. Yes.
So how has it been growing? How has it been growing for you in your childhood? For now that you are 8 of you,
I didn't grow with them actually. Because when now my uncles came together and they said I have to go there to meet my dad, I didn't live with them. They said because I was so, let me say, so crafty and kaujanja kengi sana. They said this guy can't stay here in Nyeri town. Let us take him to my parent so that he can go and school there. So they took me in another place called Kieni. So I went there, and now I joined standard 5 there. But now my life became so, I don't know how I can describe it, because I suffered that 1 year and it became like 10 years to me. Because this parent of this dad, they didn't took me as their child. So there was that difficulties of them accepting me as their child. And so I suffered that 1 year in standard 5 to appoint a boy who used to come number 1 to school. I started now to become even number 10. And now I could no longer endure that. And so after that 1 year, I came back in Nyeri town and I could not go back there. And that's where I dropped out.
You dropped out of school?
Yes.
Immediately after you finished your
Standard 5.
Standard 5?
Yes.
So how was it been growing in Nyeri then?
Now when I dropped out to school, I could no longer live with my parent because they could not allow that. So I disappeared.
You are not chased?
I was not chased,
You
but I disappeared. And I became a street boy in Nyeri town. That is back 1990. Yes.
So you didn't desire to continue with school, or you wanted to go to the street?
No. Now, going to street and to join to street, it was difficult at some point. But now when I started to come to familiarize with them, it became my place. And I stayed in Nyeri town 1 year. And now because my mom used to come to, kuja kunitafuta everywhere, I said, wait a bit, I can't stay here with, like a gazelle and a lion come to seek me all over. I have to upgrade myself. That's where I end up in Nairobi. Yes.
So you shifted now from Nyeri to Nairobi?
Yes.
So why did you think of dropping out? Why did you not think of going on with school? What was the challenge there?
The challenge there was like, the suffering of you not being accepted. It's like you're doing everything, you're not accepted, you are being harassed out of nothing. And it was a difficult year for me, let me say that. To summarize, it's a big story, but to summarize it, I can see it was a very difficult year for me. And so I could no longer, handle that.
Did you suffer rejection?
It was a rejection, actually. You have said it. It was a rejection because, for you not to be accepted, the opposite of it is rejection. So they rejected me, and out of that, because they could not tell me openly that they are rejecting me. In my language, they say, "Molo ikatada kuiraga ume." They are doing things that you are saying like, I'm not accepted here. Yes, so it was difficult for me.
So was it a feeling in you that you felt you are not accepted here?
Yes.
Were you being mistreated compared with the other children?
They mistreated me because now this, my adopted dad, their siblings, some of them were my age, you see, and we were going school together. But the things that were happening, I could tell because, now in the evening, I could be left in the kitchen and they are in the table room eating ugari, but I will deal with githeri. So those kind of things could show me, this place I'm not accepted. And the way I used to be treated in my grandmom place, where my mom come from, it was two different things. Yeah.
At some point, Sam, you have just said after reaching class 5, you thought of going to the streets.
Yes.
What made you think of going to the streets?
I think, I don't know. I can't tell because it was just my idea. This it's only place that I feel loved. If it is the brotherhood or maybe siblings, I think these are more my brothers more than these people who are, my brothers and sisters.
So the people in the streets are like more of your brothers?
Yes. And the reason is this. I could ask myself questions.
Yes.
Why is it that my siblings are living with my parents, but for some, they're taking me a place where I'm not accepted? So those were the questions that were running in my mind. And I remember one day telling my mom, if I can't go back to my grandmom in Mukurweni, then in Kenya I'm not going. Than in Mzaha. So he could not take it serious.
So how long did you live in the streets? How many
18 years.
18 years?
Yes, 18 years.
In the streets?
Yes.
How was life then in the streets then?
Difficult, my friend. I started as a small chokora, a street boy, growing up as a thug, and a very dangerous thug. Being a jailbird, you know, all the time I'm in the industry area, Kimiti, Nairobi West, you know, all those prisons, you know, going to prison after prison, being in outside there is, you know, still everywhere, chains, motor vehicles part, all those things. So to be beaten by the mob justice, you know, all those things, I've gone through them. Then coming to join another difficult scenario of now becoming a junkie, drug user, drug abuser. I was a heroin user. Yes.
Did you learn that from the streets?
Yes, I learned that from the street because, you know, living in the street, you cannot be normal. Yes, because life there is difficult. Here you have police, you have city council, you have the society, everyone is your enemy. And you're feeling the only person you can cope with is your fellow street boy or maybe street girl. And those are the people now you are living with them. And you are living your own world. Because, you know, they normally say, watu wengine huku raia ni mafara. You know, they don't think like them. Now, it is a very difficult life, because you are feeling you are being hated by everyone. And now you are living in your world alone. Yeah.
Wow, wow. You just told us before there, you called your grandmother mom.
Yes.
At some point, did your mother not even think coming to look for you?
She could come once in a while, but now because she was coming to visit and then go back to Nyeri town, I think in my idea and thinking, I was not thinking about her a lot. Not that people are not telling me that this is your mom, but now because I am used with my grandmom, this is the person who raising me. This is the person I know. Now, that's why I think I always called her my mom. Yes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Viewers, I do believe this story is getting interesting and more interesting. I do believe you want to hear more what happened to Sam for 18 years being in the streets. Don't touch that dial. We're going for a short break. We are coming back. Thank you.
Humble beginnings. My story, my testimony.
Welcome, viewers, again. I know you are so much eager or interested to know what happened to Sam for 18 good years in the streets. As you're watching us from Lookup TV, we will encourage you also, you can write to us on our Facebook page. If you like our Facebook page, you can write, you can tell us about your story, you can come and give your testimony, and I do believe we'll have the opportunity to air it out. Sam.
Yes.
Tell us, 18 years.
18 years.
In the streets. How did you manage? Because now you wanted to tell us now how you began becoming a gang, becoming a robber.
Yes.
I mean, going all manner of streets. Tell us about, how was it?
You know, landing in Nairobi, one thing I knew is that sina mzazi, sina brother, and because I came Nairobi using bus ambazo zilikuwa zinaitwa Nyayo bus. To those who people were in Nairobi those times, nilikuja na Nyayo bus. And when I landed in Nairobi, kuna vitu ambazo sikuelewa. Ni wapi huku? Ni nani nitakaye muendea? But now, kwa sababu ya ile ujanja ambao nilikuwa nayo, na nilikuwa nasikiza story vile zinaendelea, kuna story 92 ilikuwa inaendelea ya Molo. Kuna vita zilikuwa, kuna crashes ambazo zilikuwa Molo. So everyone ambaye angeniuliza umetoka wapi, nilikuwa nasema nimetoka Molo. Wazazi wangu walipigwa, hatujui tu walienda wapi, ile gari niliingia imenileta mpaka huku. So wakati mwingine hiyo ndio ilikuwa ni story.
Sasa niulize Sam, ni nini ilituma uanze kusema sasa umetoka Molo, ukijua vizuri sana umetoka pande ya Nyeri? Nini imeanza kusema sasa tena uanze kudanganyana ya kwamba umetoka Molo, wazazi wako wametoka Molo? What made you
kuna ile unatafuta sympathy. Kwa sababu nikisema nimetoka nyumbani, watu wataanza kushindwa kwa nini? Maswali mingi. Na kwa sababu sitaki hizi maswali mingi, maybe nimekuwa approach na I just need a lunch. Unaona? So ile tu kitu ningekueleza ni hiyo kauongo ambacho katakushika upata sympathy. So hiyo ndio kitu iliniongoza, because in Nairobi, I'm new in Nairobi. There is no my aunt, there is no my sister, there is no who and who. I am all alone. And now nilikuwa ninakaa na watchman usiku, mchana ninakaa peke yangu. For like 1 week I was alone. But niliona jamaa mmoja akiwa amebeba gunia, nikasema I will follow this. Because now in Nyeri nilikuwa nimezoeana na machokora. So hiyo ndio familia only ningeingiana nayo. So wakati niliona jamaa amebeba gunia, nikajua this is the guy. Nikafuata. So wakati alipoenda akaingia kwa chochoro, na mimi nikaenda nikafuata, nikakuta it's a base. Wako wengi. So nikaenda mpaka hapo. Now the problem ni kwamba nimekuja, mimi ni mgeni. They could know. The leader of the base atajua ya kwamba huyu jamaa ni mgeni. So wakati nilipoingia, aliniita kwanza. Wewe ni nani, umetoka wapi? But now for them si kudanganya. Because for them ni lazima ningewaambia ukweli for me to be accepted. So I told them the truth. Nimetoka Nyeri, mimi kumekuwa hivi na hivi na hivi, nikaona siwezi nikavumilia kule nyumbani, nikahepa shule. So they asked me some questions. Huku utavumilia kukaa? Nikawauliza kwa nini? Si nyinyi mnaishi? Kaniambia huku kuna vita za askari, kanjo wanatushika ovyo ovyo. Huku utavumilia kweli? Kaambia yes. Niko ready. And they told me it's okay. Then you are one of us. So that's how I was accepted in the street.
So you were welcomed now in the streets?
Yes.
But for that 1 week before you were welcomed in the street, how did you survive there?
Nilisurvive na watu tu. Ninaingia kwa hoteli, ninaomba kitu, ninapewa. Ni kijana wa Molo. Ninapewa, ninaenda kwa mwingine, ninaomba kitu, ninapewa, pengine nabaiwa kachai, shilingi 5. At that time shilingi 5 ilikuwa mingi sana. 1992 shilingi 5 nilikuwa nakunywa chai na mandazi 4. So life ilienda namna hiyo for that 1 week.
Na mavazi ni yale yale ulitoka nayo kutoka Nyeri ukakuja nao Nairobi?
Now it is not a deal. Because now unabadilishia mavazi wapi? Ni yale yale, hata kuoga hakuna. Yes.
Wow.
Just like that.
So ukakaribishwa kwa gang sasa?
Sasa nimekaribishwa kwa gang. And
ya Nairobi.
Yes, ya Nairobi. And they monitored me like tuseme kitu kama wiki 2. Kila kitu kinatakikana mimi ndio natumwa. Nika kijana kageni kamekuja. But now wale watu ambao nilianza kwenda nao, they now started to teach me on how to hustle. Unaenda unaokota makaa, unaenda zile makaa ziko used, unaenda unauza kule ziwani, because now I was in Gara. Unaenda unaokota chuma, unaenda unapima scrap. But wakati unaokota chuma, ukipita kwa garage na unaona kachuma kazuri kamekaa vizuri, kamekaa mbaya, unapita nako. But make sure kwamba hujaonekana. So now that how they started to train me on how now to steal. Kwa sababu tunaenda kwa garage, tunaokota mafilter zile ziko na oil, machuma zile zimetupwa. But ukienda upate kachuma kazuri, unaweka kwa ile gunia scrap, unaenda nako. Now they started to train me that way. But also in the morning, walikuwa wanaenda kwa traffic jam. Pale mtu anajua pale Gara roundabout, mahali kuna banki ya Equity siku hizi. Wakati ilikuwa imejengwa hapo. Hapo kulikuwa na traffic jam sana asubuhi. So they used to go kwa hiyo traffic jam na kungoa wheel caps za magari. Tuo kulikuwa na 544, Toyota C91, hizo. Una time wakati traffic imesimama, unashika hiyo wheel cap, unangoa, unakimbia nayo. Unaenda unauza. Unapata 100 yako. Umepata za kununua guru, umepata za kununua sigara, umepata za bangi kama unavuta bangi, na za kununua mkate. na pengine kachai.
So kuna ile lifestyle ulikuwa nayo kule Nyeri ambayo ulikuja ukapata pengine ni tofauti, life ya streets ya Nyeri na life ya streets ya Nairobi ni tofauti.
Yes.
Ulikuja ukapata ni the same ama huku ulipata ni advanced?
Let us say in Nairobi it was advanced. Because now in Nyeri tulikuwa tumezoea tu ni kwenda kwa borea za mahoteli kurokota makaa, kwenda kuuza majengo, kwenda kununua petroli, tunavuta petroli, the regular petrol. Now in Nairobi nimekuta now it's not petrol, ni glue. Na glue mnashikana watu kadhaa mnaenda Kariokoo kununua jiki mzima. So it's 70 bob. 70 bob wakati ilikuwa ni pesa mingi. So now ni lazima uhustle, pesa zipatikane za kuishi haya maisha. Then there is no one you can run to. So Nairobi the life was difficult, but now the way I adapted in the life in Nairobi, for me I think sikukawia sana. Nilikuja nikaingiana nayo kwa sababu nimefundishwa hizo vitu, nimejua kuimba, nimejua kungoa gari taa, nimejua kungoa gari side mirror, nimejua kungoa gari wheel caps. So all those things nikaanza kuenda nikizijua pole. Na mpaka wakati nilikuja sasa nikakuwa expert, like now after 6 months nimekuwa expert, so ninaenda mpaka peke yangu now kwenda kuiba.
So ukaintroduce hata kwa drugs?
Nyakati hizo
bangi, kunywa glue. How was your life? Did your life become deteriorating? Ilienda ikienda chini zaidi na zaidi ama
nilikuwa nina feel niko sawa? You know, for me, you know, when you are in the darkness, you feel dark is good. So for me nilikuwa nina feel niko sawa, because now it come a time wakati nilisahau mpaka sasa na nyumbani. Nikakuwa sasa hata sishughuliki mambo na nyumbani, nina feel niko sawa. Yes, because now you find a family and they accepted you wholeheartedly, and you're feeling comfortable being with them even more than being home. Yes. So I think that's how I adapted so fast katika life ya street.
Now by then ukiadapt kwa hiyo maisha ya street, were you very young, were you very small?
I was 13 years.
13 years now?
Yes. I was 13 years. Kakipi kadogo tu. Yes.
Na sasa ushafunzwa kungoa side mirrors, kungoa wheel caps za gari. Now at some point, Sama, I know there's somebody who's listening to us so much and they want to know about more of your story. Je, ulifika at one particular time at that stage, ulishikwa ama ukaangukiwa pengine na mob ama?
First time nilishikwa and nikapelekwa Central Police Station na nikastakiwa kwa sababu nilishikwa na wheel caps 4 za 544. Nikastakiwa, lakini nao sijapelekwa High Court, nilipelekwa Juvenile Court. Nikapelekwa court pale inaitwa Baden Powell, hapo kuna court iko hapo ya watoto, Juvenile Court. Nikapelekwa hapo nikakesi for 8 months, then kukakosekana ushahidi. So nikaachiliwa. Na ile inaitwa section 210, benefit of doubt. Nikaachiliwa na ndio sasa nikarudi street tena. Yes.
So for 8 months ulikuwa umefungiwa kwa?
Nilikuwa remand huko Kabete, kuna ya juvenile remand huko Kabete ya watoto. So for those 8 months nilikuwa juvenile remand Kabete. So now you are coming back, umeachiliwa, si ati narudi mahali pengine kwa street, wizi bado. So sijapatikana na hatia, lakini lazima kazi iendelee.
So before urudi kwa streets tena, kule juvenile, maisha yako haikubadilika hata kidogo? Haukuwa mentored kidogo?
No.
Haukubadilisha hata kidogo maisha?
No. You know, the problem with the setting, I don't know if it is the Kenyan setting or maybe the criminality setting, I don't know. Wakati unapoenda jera ama unaenda juvenile ama unapeleka mtoto approved, in your thinking unafikiria anaenda kubadilika. But kule anaenda kukuta watu ambao wako na ujuzi zaidi. So zile stories zinaendelea kule, kuna kitu natamani zaidi, because like now for me, I used na kazi ya kuiba vitu za magari. But now when I went to juvenile, nikakuta kuna vijana wengine kule nao ni masinacha. Masinacha wa saa. You know, wakati huo kulikuwa na Psycho 5 ambazo zilikuwa ni saa za bei kali. Kuna masinacha za cheni za dhahabu. So wanakuwa mnapiga story, unaelewa cheni waga inasinachiwa namna gani. Ukitoka kule, unakuja nao umeadd another knowledge ya kufanya vitu zingine tofauti. Yes, so it is not about mentoring, it's not about sijui changing, it's about getting experience. Yes.
So immediately sasa umetoka juvenile, umerudi to back to the streets.
Yes.
Pale ulikuwa?
Pale nilikuwa. But now the next scene, I remember very well, I was coming from Mathare, kuna drugs wakati huo tulikuwa tunatumia zilikuwa zinaitwa Cozepam, zinaitwa mataptap, na wale watu ambao wanazitumia town sana. So hizo zinatumika Mathare, kwa kule kwa mental hospital. So wakati mmoja nimetoka kule kwa sababu tulikuwa tunaenda huko kuzinunua huko za magendo, nikaingia kwa KBS. I don't know if you remember, KBS ilikuwa na milango mbili. Ilikuwa ina hang watu wengi sana. Nikaingia kwa hiyo gari. And now tukiwa pale Pangani nikaona jamaa ambaye wallet yake ilikuwa inaonekana vizuri. And I thought this wallet is good for me to go with it. Nikaivuta. Wakati nilivuta yule jamaa alisikia nikivuta wallet akanishikia mkono nyuma. My friend. Nilipokea vita kwa hiyo gari. Tukifika Kariakoo, ili basi isimame nishukishwe, sikuwa nasikia uchungu. Nilikuwa nimechoka.
Wow. Just hold it on there, Sam.
Yes.
Viewers, I do believe it is getting interesting and more interesting. The life of Sam is a real testimony, is a real story that you are getting interested to listen to. Let me tell you, my viewers, I do believe we are going to have Sam next week. We'll be having part 2 of his testimony, because his testimony is an encouragement. Maybe Sam, for 2 minutes, because of my director is telling me about time, just encourage somebody, just a word for hope.
Yes.
Because I know they want to know, how did you end up? Who is this Sam? You know, and I do believe there is light. There is light at the end of the, even if you are going through darkness, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Sure.
What would you tell somebody in just like 20 seconds?
I think what I can see is that sometimes we live in the darkness and we are too much comfortable in the darkness. But what we forget is that when you come to the world of light, there is more enjoyment in the land of light, or in the kingdom of light, more than in the kingdom of darkness. Sometimes we lose hope because of the things we see with our naked eyes. But what we forget is that there is more in spiritual realms. Right now, I am in the light, in the world of light. And that's why I just want to stop there, but to give them hope that there is hope in where you are.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Viewers, don't touch that dial. Next Wednesday, we'll be having our continuation of part 2 of the same story. Some will be continued. Write to us on our Facebook page. Keep watching Look Up TV. And I do believe this is the only channel that gives hope to the world. Thank you, my viewers.
Humble beginnings.